And as we get into Kanssouri versus Georgia, we go from a great song to whatever the hell this is. I'm Dio. I'm back with Seed 16 versus Seed 17 here. Kanssouri versus Georgia on United States Cup 2023. We get into some warm-ups here. But just to talk about this matchup a little bit, it is a matchup between our 16th versus 17th seeded teams. Should be a pretty close one between these two. A couple of roster changes for both of these squads as compared to last year. Kanssouri subbing in simply, I believe it's Sour Sangoose and 846-553-767-646-068. I'm just going to call them numbers. So Sour Sangoose and numbers for Pro being a noob and Perfect Free from last year. Those two no longer on the roster. Simply, Onecert, Flaro, and Fangsy still on the roster from last year for Kanssouri. Georgia making some subs as well. 3 new players for Georgia this year. From the roster last year, we have Stacker Joe, now known as Stacker, Razorfruit, and Speedy Kitten Meow M. What a name. Formerly known as Cairo XOXO, by the way, from last year. You might remember that name. No longer on the roster are Gaby, Remiko, and Axolotl. Gaby moving to New Jersey this year to join that roster. Instead, we have Sean's Very Asian and OO Max for the rest of Georgia. So 3 new players for Georgia, 2 new players for Kanssouri. Some very different rosters this year. Gonna be honest, I don't know a lot about the replacement players for either of these teams. I do know enough about the base players for both of these teams to know that it's probably a mechanics-focused roster for Kanssouri, and it's probably kind of a mixed bag for Georgia. Stacker, not really known as a mechanics player. Razorfruit is. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup between these two teams. That said, this pool is very lacking in sort of pure mechanics-focused picks. You have kind of a Nomad 1 in both the Nomad 1 and Nomad 4. Nomad 4 is more awkward aim. Nomad 1 is more like mechanics tech. And then there's no, like, basic stream map. The closest thing you have is the hidden one, which is relatively simple. And 180 BPM flow aim streams. You do have FreeMod 3 as well for speed streams. And you do have the DT2 for speed. High approach rate as well. That's kind of it. DT1 is, I would call it a mechanics map, but it's so easy that non-mechanics players should easily be able to play that map until you get to the breakdown section where it becomes a very gimmicky-focused DT pick. DT3 is 327 BPM alt DT, so not a not a simple map. And the rest of this entire pool is really kind of like non-consistency based, either alt or tech or some variant on one of those. So very, very few mechanics picks. Nomad 1, Nomad 4, Hidden 1, DT2, Remod 3 would be your mechanics picks. Everything else is kind of gimmicky in this pool. So I think it favors the team that is less focused to mechanics, and that has been the trend in USC for a while now, is these kind of less mechanics-focused pools in favor of a bit more of a gimmick focus. Whether that's intentional or not from Dada, I think that's been the result, is gimmick-favored teams doing a little bit better in USC than in other international tournaments. Be the first time I see a lot of these players in tournaments, particularly anybody besides Fangzi, Stacker, Flaro, and Razorfruit. So looking forward to see what these teams bring to the table. We saw a very good match between Texas and Louisiana. As one-sided as it was for Texas, Louisiana put up a very good fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing an even closer match between these two teams. They are both middle-seeded teams, and I hope they deliver on how close their seeding is. It'd be a shame if this were a one-sided match with 16 versus 17. All right, are we getting a warm-up for Kanssouri? I'm hoping it's short if we do get one. I don't know exactly how long I have it in me to just talk about random stuff relating to the teams, given how little I know about the teams, frankly speaking. I will say there is a difference in performance from last year for both of these teams. Kanssouri was seed 16 last year as well, I believe. And they finished 1-2. They had a relatively poor overall performance. They lost to Texas in losers bracket round 2, and only won their losers bracket round 1 match. So definitely had a rough USC last year for Kanssouri. I think looking to make a deeper run this year. Georgia, on the other hand, went 3-2, eventually being eliminated by South California in losers bracket round 4. Which, you know, fair enough. It's South California. You don't really win versus that team most of the time, unless you're like NorCal or Florida or maybe Virginia this year, right? So there's very few teams that actually beat SoCal in USC, and that's for a good reason. So unfortunate matchup for Georgia there. Otherwise, they may have been able to make a deeper run last year as well. So I think looking to repeat the performance for Georgia from last year, looking to avenge last year's poor performance overall for Kanssouri. And that poor performance last year for Kanssouri started with a loss in round of 32. They lost on tiebreaker in round of 32, getting upset in seeding. I just realized I'm not actually speaking on Discord. There we go. I can see my beautiful face on stream as well whenever I speak. And yeah, they did lose last year for Kanssouri to New Jersey in tiebreaker in round of 32 before beating Indiana 5-0. Excuse me. Bless me. And then, of course, losing 6-0 to Texas in losers bracket round 2. So definitely a rough go of things. Georgia last time around winning 5-0 versus Connecticut. Georgia was 12th seed, by the way. I will add that. They were a slightly higher seeded team last year. They were not quite as middle of the pack as they are this year, now at 17th seed. In fact, bottom half of the pack this year for Georgia for what feels like the first time in a while. 5-0 against Connecticut in the round of 32 before losing to Carolina 5-1 in the round of 16. And then Georgia made a pretty good losers bracket run. They won 6-0 versus Colorado, 6-0 versus Pennsylvania, before again finally losing to South California 6-3 in losers bracket round 4. So pretty good overall run for Georgia last year. Again, I think looking to repeat that kind of performance and make it into the top 12 once again for this team. And, of course, Kanssouri looking to make it farther than top 24 to get beyond that losers bracket round 2 where they were eliminated last year. Sean's has stopped playing. Honestly, I identify with that on a spiritual level. Egg Pain +++ is pretty hard. It's a pretty hard map. Fangsy's still going, still FCing. Good for him, I suppose. Finally does drop the FC. Yeah, it's not the prettiest warm-up phase, I will say that, from from these teams right now. We'll hopefully get into things soon. As for picks and bans, again, I'm not really sure exactly what these teams will want to do because I'm very not familiar with both of these rosters. I maybe Kanssouri is largely the same, right? They only subbed out 2 members. I can go take a look at kind of what they played last year to try and get some idea, but it's kind of hard to predict in some of these tournaments. I mean, Kanssouri was playing DT against New Jersey, but they did lose 2 of them. And they ended up actually winning like Gamble and some hidden maps last year against New Jersey, as well as some kind of tricky free mod picks. I am honestly not sure. I think this team is sort of a mixed bag. They have some really good gimmick players. They have some very good speed players. They will be banning out the DT2 for the side of Georgia. I think that's pretty targeted towards Fengsy and Claro. Not going to find a lot of people who want to go up against both Fengsy and Claro on high approach rate DT. Give me the free mod 2 ban for Kanssouri. I think that's a good ban against a team that has players like Stacker or Razorfruit on it. Razorfruit on the Hard Rock, Stacker. Actually, maybe on the Hard Rock as well. I think it's some of the other members on the side of Georgia that would be taking the hidden. Fully expecting like a free mod 3 first pick from Kanssouri, maybe a DT1. But with the DT2 ban, I mean, there's really no speed left in this pool outside of the free mod 3. I think the hidden 1 is too low BPM for it to be a particularly good pick for Kanssouri. So fully expecting the free mod 3 first pick. Oh, sorry, it's first pick Georgia. So hidden 2, yeah. Makes a lot of sense there. Kanssouri does not really have like a super good low approach rate roster, so I'm not surprised by this hidden 2 first pick. Let's see if we can get these players on the right side of the screen, because we've had the people just wherever the hell they want to be for a while now. Let's see if they end up actually getting onto the correct sides of the screen. All right, looks like we do have the roster. It's going to be one cert, Numbers, and Flaro for Kanssouri on the low AR hidden pick. Omax, Very Asian, and Stacker for Georgia to start us off. Again, this AR8 pick is pretty simplistic. It's just low AR aim consistency, basically. There's not a lot to this pick. It is wide angle awkward aim, and so you are going to have some of those kind of trademark low AR hidden 2 patterns that are very easy to miss on if you just don't aim things properly. A lot of players prefer really snappy aim when it comes to this kind of stuff. Some prefer really, really flowy aim and just flow aiming through a lot of the wide angle patterns. Max having a bit of trouble here at the start. Still the 3-way full combo intact for Kanssouri and a break for Stacker right at the very start of the map, which won't end up meaning much as he does find his groove eventually. Max not finding that groove though, down at 96% accuracy and having a little bit of trouble here to start things off. Hopefully for Georgia, he is able to find that groove, but it doesn't really look like it. He looks to be having quite a lot of trouble with this pick. This has been a relatively high average score map. We saw in the previous matchup between Texas and Louisiana a 5-way full combo. Only one player on Louisiana not able to FC this map. So this is a map where you kind of need high-level performance from everyone on your team to have a shot at winning. Right now, that's just not the case for Georgia. Max having a lot of trouble being consistent in the early stages of this map. Very Asian now, the last full combo for Georgia. Will be trading it out with numbers. That is a 2-way FC for Kanssouri intact, and only combo on Stacker with the reverse choke. Hello, Shawns. Yeah, Flaro hidden too. I think, again, just because this map is really simple. Like, there's not a lot going on here. If you can aim well, you can play this hidden too. Flaro will chain miss the wide angle jump chain though. That is pretty big for Georgia here. They do have no combo advantage though. Max again just not able to hold any combo in this map, and it's dragging Georgia down right now, unfortunately. Stacker needs to hold combo if Georgia wants a chance of taking their first pick here, but it's all dependent on a miss from Oncert, who is still holding this FC for Kanssouri, the only FC in the lobby now, as Flaro does drop that second remaining full combo for Kanssouri on the wide angle jump chain, hardest part of the map. Very Asian will drop the supporting combo for Georgia as well now, and I mean, basically, if Oncert doesn't miss right now, it's pretty much over within like the next 10 seconds or so, as there's still that supporting combo on numbers as well for Kanssouri. And yeah, I think with that stream being over, going to the last guy here, it's done. This is going to be a first pick break point in the favor of Kanssouri on Georgia's first map, the Hidden 2. And unfortunately for Georgia, this pick just not working out. Stacker with a reverse choke will end up getting a very good score on this map, but it's matched by Oncert, and the rest of the team just not up to the task of taking on Flaro and Numbers from Kanssouri. Numbers by the end of this map, by the way, is going to have a very, very good score. Super high accuracy. That one chain miss on the wide angle jump pattern from Flaro hurts her score a lot. It's a really big act drop and big score drop, as well as the timing of the misses. Not doing her any favors there, but still going to be outscoring both Very Asian and Max by a pretty wide margin for Flaro. Over 100k over Very Asian and over 200k over Omo Max. So yeah, not going to matter whatsoever. Again, good reverse choke from Stacker, but it's matched by Oncert, and the supporting scores there for Kanssouri are really solid. Nicely done from Kanssouri on the breakpoint. There's going to be a DT first pick for Kanssouri anyway, despite the DT2 ban from Georgia. Maybe DT3, though. 327 BPM. Why is Gaby here? He is not on either of these teams. Get out of the lobby. Go back to New Jersey. Get out of here, man. If I remember right, this is like alt swing DT, which is pretty hard to act. I think this is a very good pick for Fangzy in particular, and probably a really hard map overall in this map pool. So I'm expecting this to be an overall pretty low score map. Waiting on some rosters here for both of these teams. It looks like it's going to be Fangzy, Flaro, and Speedy Kitten Meow for Kanssouri, Stacker, Max, and Simply for Georgia. Never mind, Simply stepping out here. Okay, back in now. This should be the rosters for both of these squads. We should be getting into DT3 shortly. Again, early 1-0 lead for Kanssouri on Georgia's first pick. Never mind, it's actually Simply for Kanssouri. My bad. Speedy Kitten Meow was just in the wrong spot. I got baited. Alright, good luck, have funds are out. We should be getting into it shortly. Two of these teams are made of. I think this is going to be a pretty low average score map, so it should be a good indicator of kind of skill cap, especially if we go to tiebreaker. That is important. This map is not high approach rate, by the way. This is AR 9.67, so AR 8 TT. And early on here, it's actually a big ACK lead for Georgia. Or at least it was at the start here. 99 ACK for Stacker, 91 ACK for Flaro, now at 92, 93. Slowly growing that ACK back up to a reasonable number. Max will be matching the ACK from Flaro, but it's an early miss for Flaro as well. So she will be not holding the full combo for now. Stacker's going to trade out an FC, though. Already a quarter of the way into this map. Accolade overall back in the favor of Kanssouri as well. 98-97 for Fangzy and Simply. Looking very, very solid on this pick. Still with the double FC. Max and Speedy Kitty. Speed Kitty. God, what is that? Osu players! I hate Osu players. Yeah, two-way full combo for both of these teams. Flaro on a reverse choke now with good accuracy at this point, 96%. Another miss comes out for Georgia. It is on Max. Stacker's going to drop as well. And this pick suddenly looks completely one-sided for Kanssouri. Fangzy and Simply on the two-way full combo. Speed Kitty, the only one full comboing. Now joining the likes of Stacker and Max with zero combo after that miss. And so it's an uncontested two-way full combo for Kanssouri, as well as this reverse choke one slider break play for Flaro. Yeah, one-sided is the term I would use for this map at this point. 700k score lead and climbing for Kanssouri. Can Fangzy and Simply finish it out? It is going to be another slide break there for Flaro, so she will not finish the reverse choke. Can Fangzy and Simply hold on to these FCs? And it's looking good for both of them. Still holding true with the full combos. Holding through the space doubles there and hitting every note in the map. Very nicely done from Fangzy and Simply with the two-way full combo for Kanssouri. 3 million team score on that pick. Very, very solid stuff for Kanssouri. 99% accuracy for Fangzy on this as well. Looked really, really good on Egg Pain +++ in the warm-ups. And, the finger control practice paying off there. Huge team gap. 1.4 million team score gap. Almost double score for Kanssouri over Georgia. Very, very good first pick. And this is already a much better start for Kanssouri than they had in 2022 against New Jersey. Again, they were upset as 16th seed in tiebreaker by New Jersey last year. So Kanssouri definitely hoping to not have that happen again. Hoping to win over Georgia here and advance into winners round of 16. Where is Razor? That's a great question, Georgia. Where is Razor Fruit? Got the two high-ranking players for Kanssouri and Fangzy and Flero. Where's Razor Fruit for Georgia? Oh, Razor Fruit is on a trip right now. That is quite important, actually. That's very important information. Unlucky, Georgia, I guess. Not much you can do about that one. That's unlucky. It is going to be hidden one, the second pick here for Georgia. I think this is a good pick. You want maps, especially if Razor Fruit is gone. You want maps where your non-mechanics players can do well, and those are all of the either really easy mechanics picks that are made a little gimmicky by the mod choice, just like this map, or just the non-mechanics pick straight up. So I think this is a good pick for Georgia. Kanssouri, not in particular a hidden team, I don't think. That said, they did win the hidden 2, so it's not like they can't win this pick either. I'm betting on it being Fangzy as the third player here, but I would not be surprised if Flero comes back in. And there she is. Okay. Always going to be one of those two, right? So, Flero, one cert, and numbers for Kanssouri. Two number players, in fact. Stacker, Max, and Very Asian for Georgia. Georgia looking to put a point on the board. Kanssouri looking to continue the clean sweep. Let's see how this one goes. This map is fake tech. It's a very techy sounding song, but the map is basically just streams with flow aim at 180 BPM, so not a lot to write home about in this pick. Early days accuracy good for everyone. Stacker on a little bit lower ac. Oncer will not break there. It will be numbers trading the full combo out here. I thought it was a red flash from insert on Kanssouri and not from numbers. Oh, Max will trade the full combo with that chain miss. So a little bit of a combo lead to Kanssouri. Overall score lead still on Georgia. SS still on Very Asian. Very good accuracy FCs on Flero and Stacker right now as well. And score lead slowly going the way of Kanssouri on this pick. You're rooting for a close match. You're rooting for Georgia to put this point on the board and convert on this pick, but that chain accuracy drop from Max is going to give the score lead over to Kanssouri. And with nothing changing here, there's not much that could bring it over to Georgia, but a miss from Flero will do just that. It's a slider break traded out with a chain miss from Very Asian. Stacker and Oncer with the two remaining full combos. 99 ACK on both of them. Slightly higher ACK for Stacker. But again, 100 combo lead for numbers over Max. And so it is still going to be score lead at Kanssouri. Another chain miss for Very Asian. Max dropping the chain miss as well. And suddenly this pick looks a bit doomed for Georgia. 200k score lead and climbing. Numbers will drop and trade with the two chain missing numbers on the side of Georgia. 2 is greater than 1, and that means score lead still on the side of Kanssouri. Flero holding on to the combo here. And unfortunately for Stacko, it's an FC all for naught as Kanssouri is able to once again breakpoint Georgia on this second hidden pick. 2 hidden maps in a row and 2 breakpoints in a row for Kanssouri. And one going their way as well. Insert this time around. MVP for Kanssouri with that full combo. Very nicely done. Matching the best play in the lobby coming out of Stacker. Supporting scores for Kanssouri better than the supporting scores for Georgia, and unfortunately that means breakpoint once again, and a 3-0 start to this match for Kanssouri, which is a team that is performing much better than in 2022. They should be very happy with themselves and the start they have here in this iteration of USC after going 1-2 last year. Gotta be happy with this 3-0 start. I've never heard of Kanssouri. Is it some American DLC I've never heard of? It is Kansas and Missouri combined, in fact, because neither of those states could make a team by themselves, and so they just got combined. In fact, there is one city which sits on the border of Kansas and Missouri, which is called Kansas City. There's Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, because there's one giant city that sits on the border between those two states. So it's actually very fitting to have these two states combined. Can I revert the DLC? Talk to the founding fathers about that one. In the meantime, we're going to get Hard Rock 2 in here. Chirality by Camellia. Zhao Jingyao's insane difficulty on this set, picked up by Kanssouri, the Hard Rock 2 here. Fangzi Sean's and Speed Kitty Meow, I believe, is on Georgia. Again, is in the wrong slot because why not, I suppose. Looks like OMX will be subbing out here, and it's actually Sean's for Georgia because, again, they were both in the wrong slots. Osu players! Shakes fist. Yeah. I don't know the teams very well, and so, unfortunately, yep. Unfortunate. Unfortunate for Georgia also not having Razor Fruit here. Very unfortunate indeed. It's going to be Fangzi and Flaro coming in for Kanssouri alongside Simply as the third player for that roster. Again, this is the second pick for Kanssouri. They're expected to win this one. They've been outperforming Georgia all match so far. Their first pick, they won by almost double score. It was a 1.4 million team score gap on the DT3. I don't know if I expect them to do something similar on this, but it is still early stage, and this is a precision pick. So if the team is more comfortable on Hard Rock for Kanssouri, it may just be another team gap like that we saw on DT3. That said, it's a precision map. It's early stage. If there's pressure on these players for Kanssouri, if they get nervous, Georgia can definitely take advantage. Very easy to miss on CS 6.5. Very high circle size, very small circles. Early stages of this map, nobody breaking so far. Sean's going to be the first one to drop there. Never mind, that was just Bancho. Thank you, Bancho. A little bit of an ACK lead for Kanssouri. It is a trade of breaks between Fangzi, Speed Kitty, Simply, and Sean's. Lara and Stacker were the only full combos left in the lobby as everybody breaks on that pattern halfway through besides those two players. Stacker will drop there on the repeated slider jumps as well. And now it's just Flaro on the full combo. And once again, Kanssouri looking to gap Georgia on this second pick with the Hard Rock 2. Fourth map in the match, second pick for Kanssouri, looking very, very solid here. The slow section with a little bit of lead in to the end of the song. It's a very short map as well, 97 seconds for this pick. Speed, Kitty, and Sean's going to find another double reset, and Fangzi and Simply not to follow. Fangzi will drop, but it just doesn't matter at this point. It's a drop from Flaro, sure, but the damage is done. 500,000 score in the lead is Kanssouri right now, able to very easily take this point against Georgia. And unfortunately for Georgia, I think the absence of Razor Fruit deeply hurting this roster, not able to perform up to the standards I think they would usually set for themselves on this early stage pool. And Kanssouri fully taking advantage of the fact that Razor Fruit is not here, picking into skill sets that he may usually be in for. Up 4-0 against Georgia, looking to start off USC 2023 strong. All right, Georgia, potentially last pick right now. Backs against the wall. Match point for Kanssouri, looking a clean sweep at this point. Gaby in the lobby once again. Get the hell out of here, Gaby. This is not your team anymore. You are on New Jersey now. Go support your team. Actually, never mind. That match is over. Get out anyway, though. If you are Georgia, you've picked 2 hidden maps in a row and got break pointed on 2 of them. I feel like you have to try and pick something different. Hidden 1 was stream consistency, Hidden 2 was aim consistency, both on relatively low approach rate. AR8 for the aim consistency and Hidden 2 as well. Maybe you go for something alt-tech focused, like the Nomad 3 or Nomad 2. The picks for Kanssouri have been alt swing and DT3 and techie precision on Hard Rock 2, so it's not like this team is bad at those skill sets, but I don't think you pick mechanics into this Kanssouri roster. I think that's a death blow for yourself if you pick aim consistency again, like the Nomad 1 or Nomad 4, or if you pick speed in the Free Mod 3, I think it's just over. So I don't think this Nomad 5 pick is bad at all. You will never be Hanser, that's true. Hanser alt-tech hybrid map AR9 here for Georgia. It's 6 minutes of 132 BPM, split double streams, light tech. A lot of alt in this map, mostly. Very, very light tech. But it is still that kind of hybrid mapping style. Very old map as well. I think this is 2014, I want to say, based off the map ID. Yeah, 2014, baby. I know my map IDs. All right. Yeah, 2014 Hanser map. Back in the day, Hanser was kind of a pioneer of the cut stream or split stream mapping style that is oh so common today. Yeah, this is 6 minutes. This map is 6 minutes long. 6 minutes and 5 seconds to be precise. Georgia looking to reverse sweep. If it's going to start anywhere, it has to start here. Let's see it, Georgia. Stacker, Sean's, and OO Max in the lobby for them. Fangsy, Onecert, and Flero in for Kanssouri to try and deal the death blow to Georgia and complete this clean sweep 5-0. Very, very early miss for Fangsy there. You can already see the classic Hanser style coming out with the cut doubles in this alt map. And while this is slider heavy, the sliders are not hard. They're more of an aesthetic choice than anything else at this point in time, nearly 10 years after this map was released. Another early break for Flero. Sean's did trade an early miss with Fangsy. I did not notice that Sean's missed a little earlier on. But it's a full combo advantage over to Georgia, an unmatched full combo. 2 FCs on Stacker and Max, 1 FC on Onecert for Kanssouri. That said, again, this map is 6 minutes long. So these early breaks don't matter too much right now. And in fact, the accuracy lead for Kanssouri was keeping this pick on their side for a little bit there before the combo has now finally started to bring ever so slowly onto the side of Georgia. Another break for Flero on that buzz slider there before we even get into the difficult sections of this map. And now, relatively big combo lead to Georgia. I mean, we're a quarter of the way through. That is quite a big break. despite it being on a relatively slow section. That is a meaningful break. So Kanssouri not looking as good on this pick as they have been on every other map so far in this match. Georgia maybe finally finding a weakness for this Kanssouri squad. The relatively low approach rate, unconventional mapping style. OMAX will trade out an FC right now. So it's about even combo at this point. A little bit of a lead for Georgia going into the first difficult section of this map. First diff spike coming up. Instantly the break on the square stream for Fangzi. It's now a big combo lead for Sean's over either supporting score from Kanssouri. Matching FCs still on Stacker and Oncert. Pay attention to those big combos. Misses on the supporting scores don't matter all that much right now. Accuracy lead big time for Oncert over Sean's, but matching accuracy for Stacker and Oncert on the full combos means, again, this combo lead for Sean's is doing a lot of work for Georgia, despite really, really good accuracy on both Fangzi and Flaro. It does mean if Sean's misses, his score is going to be really low, though. You have to hold this combo if you are Sean's. With 94 AC, you cannot afford to miss, because your score instantly is capped at like 450, 500k if you miss right now. That said, he's still going strong on this reverse choke. Makes it through that cut stream section. Max will reset, but it doesn't matter all that much. Score flickering back and forth between both teams. Big combo on two members versus the FC on Oncert, and good supporting combo on both Fangzi and Flaro. And at this point, now that Fangzi and Flaro built up combo again, misses for anyone matter. It's Sean's to find the first miss in the next difficult section of the map. Cut doubles going well for all remaining members with combo here. Can Kanssouri hold and close this match out cleanly? 5-0. Flaro will find the slider break. It's Fangzi and Oncert versus just Stacker. A little bit of combo on OMAX, but it's not enough to combat the 700 combo. 99 accuracy for Fangzi right now. Another reset for Flaro will buy a little bit of breathing room for Georgia, but they're still being suffocated by the high combos on Kanssouri. Oncert will trade out the full combo. The entire bottom row trading misses there is going to favor Georgia. Stacker still on this FC. Can he hold into the end of this map? It's low 98 AC, but it is enough on the full combo to bring this back for Georgia. It's only a 60k score lead, and with a quarter of the map to go, there is definitely enough time for this to come back. It is all on Stacker for Georgia right now. Multi-year captain for Team Georgia. The only hope for the team at this point to avoid being clean swept by Kanssouri. Fangzi, multi-year captain for Kanssouri, looking to finish out this clean sweep, needs to hold his combo to try and make that happen as well, to buy enough time for a miss from Stacker to come through, and that's really all that matters at this point. The only FC remaining in the lobby. Does he hold or will he miss? That's the only thing that matters at this point. Another reset for Max comes through, and there's the miss from Stacker, and there's the match to Kanssouri. Fangzi still holding on. Score lead still with Kanssouri. Another reset for Sean's as well. And Georgia now, even if there's a full clean team wipe for Kanssouri, does not have the combo to take advantage, does not have the score lead, and does not have a point in this match to stand on. 5-0 for Kanssouri in the round of 32. And it's a fantastic score from Stacker, 750k plus, maybe 800k or so by the end of this map, depending on exactly how much combo is here at the end. But it simply doesn't matter. Flaro, stop trolling, please. The score is not that much in your team's favor that you can stop playing. But it is going to be the 5-0 clean sweep for Kanssouri regardless, and a much, much better start to USC 2023 than Kanssouri had last year. This team out looking for revenge after the 1-2 top 24 finish they suffered last year at the hands of both New Jersey and Texas. New Jersey taking Kanssouri down in tiebreaker last year. Not the case this year for Kanssouri. Seed 16 once again, but a vastly different result. They move on to the winner's bracket round of 16. Very nice, consistent overall team score for Kanssouri as well. 650k on Fangzi, 700k on Oncert. It was just a slider break there. So very, very good stuff from them. Georgia, unfortunately, will not be replicating their 5-0 start to USC 2022 this year. They will be dropping down 0-5 to Kanssouri into the losers bracket, but they will have a relatively easy first losers bracket matchup. They'll be facing off against, I believe it is Connecticut in the losers bracket round 1. And Connecticut, of course, is the bottom seed in this tournament. As for Kanssouri, they get the opposite sort of matchup here in round of 16. They'll be facing off against Virginia, the number 1 seed in the tournament. So good luck. You're going to need it, folks. You're going to need it against Virginia, that's for sure. Stacker clearly a little bit upset by that loss, playing this map DT afterwards. That is going to be it for now, though. We got 15 minutes till our next matchup coming up right here on the same channel. I will be back once again for another matchup between North California and Indiana, Seed 2 versus Seed 31 in this round of 32. Bound to be a relatively one-sided matchup, unfortunately, for Indiana. However, we will have Massachusetts versus Michigan after that, Seed 9 versus Seed 24. So take this 15-minute break, grab a snack, grab some drinks, and come back, hang out here at USA States Cup. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with our next matchup, North California versus Indiana. Congratulations again to Kanssouri for the 5-0 victory. Good luck in winner's bracket against Virginia. And good luck to Georgia against Connecticut in the losers bracket. See you soon.